Hi everyone and welcome to this week's new video. November ended like extremely fast. I feel like every single month has been just flying by, and as soon as we know it, it's gonna be 2018. That's really crazy to me. I feel like when the year begins, we're just like, we have school, so we're waiting for the next break, and then when summer is gone, we're so sad. And then September, October kind of drags on a bit. November just flies by. Like, it just seems so crazy. Like, finals are just around the corner. But anyway, I have a short list of favorites for this month. I'm looking at my planner here. I always keep a little posted at the end of the weekly spread. The number one thing I need to talk about, it came out, I think, on October 30th, or if I'm not mistaken, it might have been Halloween, but Stranger Things, the second season. My sister got me into the show, both her and my mom. Yeah, she got my mom to watch it. We're watching it, and I finally decided, like, okay, I'll watch it, and I ended up really liking it. I finished it like on my birthday, and so we were all just really excited for the second season to come out, and let me tell you, it was worth it. Some people, I feel like people might be 50-50, but people didn't really like the second season. Personally, I liked it, but it definitely was different than the first one. I don't understand why Billy and Mad Max are there. I feel like they should have developed the characters a lot more for us to be able to create a connection to them, because they're just these annoying characters who seem like very surface level and that we don't know anything about them. So I'm also feeling like they were really unnecessary. But on the other hand, I first of all loved the Dustin and Steve duo. Yes, still waiting for Joyce and Hopper to happen, and I'm really glad that we got to know Will a lot more, because he was gone, like literally, for a lot of the first season because, you know, of the whole Demogorgon. But now I'm glad that we're like focusing on him a little bit more and like finding out what's going on with him. Okay, second thing is that if you watched my Thanksgiving vlog, you'll know that I went to the Dua Lipa concert, and I've actually been waiting to like mention her in my favorites video until this month. But I've been listening to her, like her entire album on constant repeat very often for the last 2 months too, since we bought the tickets, which is September I think. But I've been listening to her album since then, definitely by October. I did mention her in one of my Vlogmas videos because I found one of her music videos and I really liked it, but then I never like listened to her album. But I definitely do have favorites from her album. I'm just gonna play you the top 3 songs that I like. My definite first favorite, I can fucking tell you, is this song called Begging. Oh my god, this was like probably one of the first songs I was like, oh my god, yes, love this song. This song I kind of just really focused on. It's called IDGAF, which is I don't give a fuck. Focused on after the concert because she created, on the big screen, there was a huge message that was like typed out that was like, explicit warning, like this song has some explicit language, blah blah blah, but this is for all the fuckboys out there. And the crowd was going wild. Like everybody was like, yes girl, like we feel you. And then I just really loved the energy of that whole song, so I'm gonna include it here. It's about like her past relationship and he's trying to crawl back, but you know how she was treated, so goodbye. Okay, I just really liked like the message of that, to like be strong. That's like what New Rules is also about, to like stay strong and like keep him the fuck away. What else? I don't want to pick like the typical songs. I want to like introduce you to the new songs. Okay, probably this. It's like the first song on the album too. It's called Genesis. I need your love. And then all I have left are books. The first book is called The Murder, and then it says The Life of Bindi Mackenzie, and then life is crossed out, and on top of it it says murder. So if you guys remember the book, it's by Jacqueline Moriarty, and she is an Australian author or New Zealand, I can't remember, but she also wrote a book that I really liked in middle school called The Year of Secret Assignments, and I really liked that book, and so did my sister. So I remember, like, for Christmas or her birthday, I bought her the book about Bindi Mackenzie, and I never like flipped. I read the beginning, but then I never finished it. I'm not really sure why. So I was out of library books one time, and so I decided to read it. And it's about this girl, Bindi Mackenzie. She's like totally smart, and she's kind of like distant from everyone. She doesn't have any friends because she's kind of like too smart, and she like shows it off, not in like a totally showing off way, but she definitely like sees herself as higher than everybody else at her school, and they're in high school, and so she never really made a bunch of friends. Then all of a sudden she's like feeling nauseous, she's like skipping school, she's missing school too because she's getting really like, she's getting all these cramps and headaches, and then her grades start to slip. She like starts to not care, and she's like getting these really bad grades. She's not the one in the class getting the top grades anymore, and it's kind of like the mystery of what the hell's going on. But there's a huge twist that I wasn't even expecting, and I was just like, what the fuck, this actually happened. And it isn't like a super duper challenging book or anything like that, but it was really nice to like go back and to just read something like easygoing and just like fun. Not that any of the books I'm reading are not fun, but anyway. So the next book I wanted to talk about is called Mrs. Fletcher by Tom Perrotta. I actually borrowed another book by him, and he has a show on HBO that's based off one of his books, so that's cool. Mrs. Fletcher is about this woman. She's a single mom. She's like a divorcee, and she is about to send her son off to college, and she's like stuck at this job. She hasn't been dating anyone, and she's like, oh my god, I have no idea what I'm gonna do with my son out of the house. Like, what am I gonna do with my life? She gets this text, and someone like calls her a MILF, and they're like, oh my god, you're so hot, and it's like this really creepy message that she like ignores. And then on the other hand, there's her son who's about to go to college. He was an athlete in high school, and he was like pretty popular, so he goes off to college, and he's like figuring himself out, like what he's gonna do in college, and he's like figuring out his adult self, you know, like typical college stuff. The book was like funny because it does talk a lot about real world issues, like conversations that we're still having today about gender. Yeah, there's a transgender woman that gets introduced, and there's the whole aspect of that, but also about like feminism and what that means and why it's important. Because like Brandon is like kind of misogynistic, but not in the way that he's like purposely bashing on women. He like kind of just doesn't know what he thinks, and he's like saying these things to these women that he like dates and hooks up with. So there's a whole aspect of that, and it all kind of just ties into like the whole learning about that, and also for Mrs. Fletcher, the main-ish character, to like come back around and figure out like who she is in this single life as a single mom, as like an older woman too, and like finding purpose in life, I guess, after her kids are gone, or like finding love life, or she attempts to. And it was really funny and interesting. I really ended up liking the way that Tom Perrotta was writing, which is why I went out and borrowed another book of his, so made it onto my favorites list. Okay, so I actually like have to get going. I'm meeting Coda to go see a movie, The Murder on the Orient Express, today, finally. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know any of your favorites down below, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!